everything in Bitcoin D dictates consensus, so it's kind of a weird name. But yeah, it contains various parameters. It defines the BIP9 deployment struct, which is kind of interesting. If anybody remembers from 2017. C validation state is in there, which is basically a little piece of state that gets passed around various places to accumulate DOS scores. Policy is another strange name for what this region does, but basically it just contains various utilities for making assessments about transactions. So it'll tell you if a transaction is signaling for replace by fee, and it also contains a big chunk of code for doing fee estimation. Interfaces is a kind of interesting one. This is a newer edition, but basically interfaces is the start of an enumeration of the various interfaces in Bitcoin. This is part of an ongoing effort by Russ Yanofsky to decompose different parts of Bitcoin into separate subsystems that communicate using more formalized messages. So initially, everything's still running in one process, but maybe one day the wallet and the GUI and the Bitcoin node itself will be running on different processes. Maybe they'll live in different repositories. So the first step in that is to enumerate out the interfaces that different parts of the systems use. So that's what's in there. Indexes is pretty cool. There's been a lot of work done on this lately by Jim Posen. Basically, right now, the only thing it has is the TX index. Does anyone not know what the TX index does? Right on. So the TX index basically provides a quick way to look up from the hash of a transaction into the raw data for the transaction. So it's a useful thing to have if you're a block explorer or doing anything where you're doing a lot of looking around at transactions. There are some additional indexes proposed. So Marcin Jakimic did some work over the summer to implement an address to transactions index, and this thing actually makes use of that validation interface construct to perform index maintenance. The wallet kind of does what it says. It's logic for marshalling wallet data to and from disk via Berkeley DB, so I'm going to talk about Berkeley DB in a second. Contains various utilities around fee bumping, doing coin selection. The RPC interface is in there. When I'm burned in your head, when